Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. The power of living below your means. You know what? I was inspired to do this because, people have seen, on my other channel, me at my new spot and everything. And somebody commented, yeah, Ron making that big money, came up in the money. I was like, no, not really. Because, and I told the person, no, I actually live below my means even now. Not as much below my means as before because, you had every now and then you get some, hey, you just living in an apartment. But I was living on only 30% of my income. I was able to pay off a car in a year. I mean, because I had the money. I had the extra cash. Could have paid for the car in cash, really. If I chose to, but wanted to establish some stuff. Look, here's the thing. It's powerful living below your means. Even if you live, I say you don't want to live on 100% or more of your income. That's a problem. That's what a lot of people have. You got people, instead of living on 100% of their income, they really living on 130%. I'm going to tell you something now. In this economy, one of the things that's killing people is just debt. Just debt. They just spending. You got people really just living on their credit cards and stuff. And thing is, that can upset the apple cart. I'm going to tell you how I know that. I did that before. I was living very well. It was really on the credit cards. All it took was one financial setback or dip in business to mess that up. So I'm like, and even now, I'll use the credit cards to buy some, but I always pay it off right. Remember, I talked about I pay it off right away. And then I got those cash back credit cards, so I'm making a little bit of money even when I'm spending it. And everything. And that's cool. But my thing is this. I never buy anything. I never buy anything if I don't have cash for it right then. Let me say that again. I never buy anything unless I got the cash for it already. I never buy anything. And so, so I don't really put myself in a real debt. I really don't, At best, it might take me an extra day to pay off something. At best, and that's because I was busy doing some other stuff. But here's the thing, though: it's powerful to live below your means, even if it's okay. Say instead of 100% of your income, say you live on 90%, or even 95%. Let's go there. Now, people say that's real small, but hold up. Depending on what you're making, 5% of your income. You can put that away into your savings. You can invest that. You can put that away to build up an emergency fund. There's so much you can do because remember, half of Americans cannot pay a $400 bill. If there was an emergency, they can't do it. And so that thing is, when you live below your means, you actually get extra money. When you live below your means, you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I said 5%, just 5%. Now, imagine if you can get it down to 90%, only living on 90%, 80%. The thing is, if you got the savings and everything, you got money for investments, you can invest in a business, you got money for an emergency. The thing is, you don't have to stress. You can live normally. And then, especially if you are in business, if there's any dip in your income, you can still keep stuff paid. Now, I'll share because I know somebody wonder, well, how much you live on? I would say 50 to 60% right now. Because, well, I got a bigger place. So, and even then, I'm going to get that back down to less than 50 because I had to spend a little bit extra money just for furniture and everything for the place. I had to get new beds for me and my sons, dining room table and all of that, moving a bunch of little stuff, And say, okay, it's going to go up a little bit. But by the fall, it'll be back below 50. it'll be back below 50%. And see, that's the thing. If there's any problems, if there's a dip in business or anything, I can handle it. Like I tell you, like back in 2017, April 2017, there was that ad apocalypse on YouTube where all these advertisers, they cut back. That hit a lot of people financially. That hit a lot of people. In fact, I remember it personally because that's when I was going to leave my day job for good and just do this full time. But I couldn't right then. I had to wait a few months because it was like a hit there. I still could have left, but I'd have been living on like 98% of my income if I left right then. So I said, nah, I got to get that down even more. So the thing was, when stuff happens, it's you can handle it. And in fact, that's not something I created. Of course, plenty of people have been doing it, but I remember back in the day, when the Washington Commanders was still the Washington Redskins. Y'all remember Doug Williams, first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl? He was like a father figure to a lot of the younger players. And in the paper, it was reported he would tell younger players if they were making $80,000, live off of $40,000. And yeah, people say 80, that's nothing. This was back in the day, y'all. Okay. Ain't like today. And shoot, 80,000 now, the equivalent now probably be like, well into six figures. But 80,000 was a lot back then. Trust me, 80,000 now right now would be well in six figures. But he told them live on less because they don't know how long they will be in the NFL. And then when they, if they had to like change jobs or they got cut or something like that, they weren't living at a high lifestyle. See, that's the thing. You want to be in a position where you have the extra money, especially if you're in business. If there's any business slowdown, you can ride it out. That's a very key thing, and it's very important. And that's powerful right there because you always have money. See, that's the one thing that however you choose to deal with that extra money, hopefully you're not spending it like crazy. You always have it. So if there's a dip, like if you're in business, say you're in business, you're doing very well. All of a sudden there's some things that happen that cause you to dip. Okay, like during the pandemic lockdowns, there were some people who rolled it out because they were smart with their money. You just never know what'll happen. And then my thing is this. If there's ever a dip, something crazy happened, they have another ad apocalypse. I know I'm good for a period of it was once a year. I'm good for maybe 6 months without bringing in any other money. I'm good for 6 months. And I ain't bragging or anything. I'm just saying if you really manage your money well without bringing in anything, my feeling is, okay, if there's a dip, then I know where I can pivot at. Because right now, the way I got my stuff set up, if, like say hypothetically something happened with YouTube, there was a serious dip, I can already shift over to several other sites already. In fact, that's why I have multiple streams of income anyway. Actually, because of that ad apocalypse, all my money isn't in YouTube. Because of that, I said, okay, I'm setting up other stuff. I keep other stuff set up. But that's the power, though, ultimately, of living below your means. Seriously, even if it's just a little bit. Never live at 100%, and definitely don't put yourself where you living above your means. Even if it's just 5%, 5% is a lot. 5% is a lot. That adds up. So if you can live instead of at 100%, if you can live at 50% of your means, that's even more powerful. And then you know what? Like I say, you could save it. I mean, you could that can give you a down payment on some property, commercial property, some real estate. I mean, it's so many things you can do with that. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying and everything. No joke, y'all. I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. Live below those means, even if it's just a little bit. The money will add up. And the power you will have, your spending power, your with the tools you have to get what you need to get will like go up. So anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. I want y'all to really think about how you're living overall, all right? So y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.